Sister wives call out Kody's murder face, accuse him of having amnesia regarding his past with them. I call it his murder face. I hate it, says Robin, who shares 5 kids with Kody, in a confessional. You can't use the murder face on the kids. Dear loves, welcome to USA Drama. Please do subscribe my YouTube channel. Kody Brown's exes and his only remaining wife, Robin Brown, have something to say about the father of 18's face. During Sunday's episode of Sister Wives, they discussed Kody's scary murder face and why their children find it terrifying. I call it his murder face. I hate it, Robin, who shares 5 kids with Kody, said during her confessional. You can't use the murder face on the kids. He's like, get in your pajamas. I'm like, that's too scary, take it back a notch, lift the eyebrows. Kody's first wife, Mary Brown, who terminated their spiritual marriage with the church in late 2022, told friends of her ex, he really doesn't seem like the happy person he used to be. For Janelle Brown, who separated from Kody in 2022, this intense behavior is nothing new. Kody's always been kind of intense, Janelle, who married Kody in 1993, said. Even when he's just talking seriously, he tends to have this face. As for the cause, the former polygamist, who has seen 3 of his 4 marriages come to an end over the last few years, admitted to having an angry disposition in the wake of his divorces. I'm angry, he said during his confessional. It's not that I'm grumpy or yelling or doing something. It's that I have resting a whole face. Christine Brown left Kody in 2021, with Janelle and Mary following suit, leaving him estranged from the bulk of his children. The only union that remains is his marriage to Robin. Elsewhere in the episode, Janelle and Mary discussed the way Kody behaved during their marriages to him, accusing the family patriarch of having selective amnesia when it comes to the breakdown of their relationships. As Kody and Mary discussed their breakup, Kody briefly reflected on how his second wife, Janelle, is not interested in a relationship. Mary's sister, who was on hand to help Mary move out of the Flagstaff compound where the Brown family had been living and back to Utah, pointed out that Kody specifically presented it as Mary, Janelle, and Christine had left him, despite him specifically expressing disinterest in moving forward with them. In a confessional, Kody then said, I'm guilty of marrying people I wasn't in love with. Janelle, separately, called out Kody's claim that he never loved his 3 ex-wives. I just think that he has amnesia when it comes to the past because you just can't keep up that kind of pretense for 20 years, she said. I know what happened. He can say whatever he wants, Janelle added. It's fine because I just don't care anymore. Mary similarly said in a confessional of her own that this is Kody's current theme, and that is that he never loved me or Janelle or Christine. It's getting to the point that it's annoying, she continued. Gosh, Kody, just man up and be honest. The episode, which largely focused on Mary and Kody and the end of their relationship, saw Mary come to terms with the end of this chapter of her life as she prepared to say goodbye to Kody. I know that I put everything that I could into it and I would still put into it, but I also know that it's not something that is comfortable for him or right for him or good for him, and that's not fair to either of us, Mary remarked. While Kody has seemed ready to move on, even he called his divorce from Mary sad, adding that it's the end of an era. It's still sad when it doesn't work, Kody said. Kody and Robin Brown have been the ultimate opportunists who emerged from sister wives. From the very beginning, everyone saw how the former preferred his 4th wife over everyone else. They also saw the couple dipping into the family pot of funds for their own selfish needs, like buying their Flagstaff home. But as the family fallout happened, everything changed. Kody and Robin faced a financial crunch when 3 other contributing family members left. Since then, they have resorted to selling their Flagstaff home for $1.65 million. But once they slashed the price when they had no luck, they eventually took it off the market. Now, the couple has bought a new house worth $2.1 million. But how did Kody afford such an expensive property? Did he sell Coyote Pass and Robin's house altogether? Kody and Robin began making headlines because they had put their 2019 Flagstaff home for sale for $1.65 million. They ultimately had to slash the price for a bit as the property had been on the market since August with no luck. Since then, another piece of news has taken over the internet like wildfire. Kody and Robin ended up buying a house worth $2.1 million in Flagstaff itself. Kody and Robin's is spread across 7,784 square feet with 6 bedrooms and 6.5 bathrooms. The parking space is huge with up to 7 car storage and an RV in the front. The kitchen is lavish too, with 2 islands, ovens, and dishwashers. But how did the couple afford such a fancy space? Did they do so by selling their half of Coyote Pass land, and their previous home? Kody and Robin are in the limelight again for their new $2.1 million home. Everyone has been curious as to how the couple bought such a lavish place. Did they sell their prior properties, Coyote Pass land and Old Flagstaff home? For it, that's not the case. It turns out the couple borrowed $1.68 million for the new property and have a 30-year mortgage now. It's not clear if they ended up selling their Old Flagstaff home or not. That's because the place is not in the listing anymore, perhaps because it is under contract. Someone also pointed out they did it under Whitestone Trust and are trustees under it. It means that the new place is protected while they live there. The trustees are supposed to handle the assets under the trust. Trustees do so that the ones who inherit the place afterwards can benefit from it. Using a trust lets you pass on your belongings faster and more easily, without having to go through a long legal process called probate. It means that Robin has already secured her and her children's inheritance. All sorts of chatter in the fan base suggests they are not happy by her move. How do you feel about Kody and Robin's decision to be trustees? Tell us in the comments below. Do you think it was the right way for them to purchase the new place? Has the old property been sold yet? Tell us in the patriarch of sister wives, Kody Brown, has never been kind to his first wife. For years, Mary Brown was put on the back burner and essentially told to wait while Kody lived his own separate life. Mary was patient and hung around long past her expiration date. And while ignoring someone isn't kind, Kody took his cruelness a step further by often being mean to her when there was no need to be. It seemed that everyone but Mary knew her 30-year marriage was over. And Kody never minced his words when talking to TLC cameras about how much he didn't love her anymore. After another fruitless chat, Kody noted, "I think the writing is on the wall. It's been obvious to me." The diss inferred that he had been done with his relationship for years, hinting that he knew Mary was hanging on. Mary was left feeling embarrassed and insulted. She had been made to feel that way for years, but this was one of the first times Kody had aired his thoughts out loud. The conversation took a nastier turn after Kody asked if she would be happy giving up her house on Coyote Pass and living in the not-yet-built barn loft. As fans discovered, he wanted to store Mary and his motorcycles there. The negative connotations couldn't be ignored. Kody had always enjoyed riling Mary up and often lied to her about reconciling. The patriarch had a way of making Mary feel so small and alone. She was just another toy he decided that he didn't want anymore. Instead of being open and honest, he gaslit Mary until the cows came home. Perhaps one of the cruelest things Kody has ever shared with Mary was the fact that he just kept putting up with her. Fans can see that Kody's sense of duty has always been about Robin Brown, his fourth and favorite wife. In this argument, Kody tried to make himself feel better by telling Mary he no longer loved her. Staying with someone you have fallen out of love with doesn't make you a hero. Mary had just wished Kody would have told her sooner instead of stringing her along for so long and wasting her time. During this particular conversation, Kody noted, "I'm willing to fake being in love with Mary, doing my duties as a husband, sort of putting up with things that frustrate me so deeply that I struggle to be around her. If I need to for the sake of whatever, I don't know, I can fake through this." Yikes. Where did the love go between these two? Kody just came across as a coward after he revealed his thoughts, and Mary was once again used. During the most recent Sister Wives episode, Mary discussed terminating her marriage with Kody. The church agreed on the terms of abandonment, but Kody was not thrilled. He kept trying to argue with Mary, who, for once, stood her ground. Then Kody pushed back, noting, "I like you now that we aren't together." During this conversation, Mary at least got to air her grievances. But as Kody does, he took to his confessional to bash her. "Don't blame me for not loving you. I was doing my duty. Blame yourself? Okay," he stated. Kody then added, "When I'm in love with a woman, that's her fault. So what happens if I'm not in love with a woman? That's my fault." Kody's words were filled with bitterness and bile. Even though he claimed never to have loved Mary, he sure seemed upset by his third divorce. But he wasn't admitting to making a mistake. Poor Mary, as all she was doing was acknowledging the fact that Kody didn't want to work on their relationship. She wasn't placing blame and actually keeping relatively calm. Thankfully, at least this time, Mary has the last word, claiming nobody wins here. And she is right. Everyone loses in a situation like this. But I wonder where the Brown family would be if only Kody were just a tad bit nicer.